Antarctica, a land of vast ice sheets and glaciers, has long been a symbol of Earth's extremes. Its frigid temperatures, howling winds, and desolate landscapes have made it a challenging environment for life to thrive. For centuries, this icy continent has remained largely untouched by the hand of man, its secrets hidden beneath a thick blanket of snow and ice. However, in recent decades, scientists have observed a startling phenomenon. Antarctica is turning green. The emergence of greenery in this icy realm is a clear indication that the continent is experiencing significant changes, driven by a complex interplay of factors. While the presence of plant life in Antarctica is not entirely new, the rate and extent of its recent expansion have raised concerns among scientists worldwide. This phenomenon has far-reaching implications, not only for the delicate ecosystem of Antarctica, but also for the planet as a whole. In the past, plant life in Antarctica was limited to a few hardy species of mosses and lichens, which clung to life in the few ice-free areas along the coast. These resilient organisms had adapted to survive in extreme conditions, withstanding freezing temperatures, prolonged darkness, and nutrient-poor soils. However, as temperatures rise due to global warming, more areas of Antarctica are becoming hospitable to plant life. The melting of glaciers and ice sheets is exposing land that has been buried for millennia, creating new opportunities for plants to colonize. These newly exposed areas provide a blank canvas for plant life to take hold, and the warming climate is providing the necessary conditions for them to thrive. As a result, scientists have observed a dramatic increase in the abundance and distribution of mosses and other plant life across the continent. The greening of Antarctica is not just a visual observation, it is backed by scientific data. Researchers have been meticulously monitoring plant growth in Antarctica for decades, using a combination of satellite imagery, aerial surveys, and on-the-ground measurements. These studies have revealed a startling trend. The rate of plant growth in Antarctica has increased significantly in recent years. One study, published in the journal Current Biology, found that the amount of moss growing in Antarctica has increased tenfold in the past 50 years. This dramatic increase in plant cover is a clear indication that the continent is undergoing a significant transformation. The study's authors concluded that the warming climate is the primary driver of this accelerated growth, as it creates more favorable conditions for moss to thrive. While the overall trend of increasing plant growth in Antarctica is concerning, what has particularly alarmed scientists is the sudden surge in growth observed between 2016 and 2021. During this 5-year period, the rate of vegetation growth accelerated by an unprecedented 30%, indicating a rapid response to changing environmental conditions. This accelerated growth is likely due to a combination of factors, including rising temperatures, increased precipitation in some areas, and changes in wind patterns. These factors are all interconnected and are being influenced by climate change, making it clear that human activities are having a profound impact on even the most remote corners of the planet. The rapid response of Antarctic vegetation to these changes highlights the sensitivity of the continent's ecosystem to even small fluctuations in climate. Section 5. The Climate Change Connection. The link between climate change and the greening of Antarctica is undeniable. As the Earth's temperature rises due to the increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, Antarctica is experiencing some of the most dramatic warming on the planet. This warming is causing glaciers to melt at an alarming rate, exposing new land for plant life to colonize. Furthermore, the warming climate is altering weather patterns in Antarctica, leading to increased precipitation in some areas. While Antarctica is still a very dry continent overall, even small increases in precipitation can have a significant impact on plant growth, providing the necessary moisture for mosses and other plants to thrive. The combination of rising temperatures, increased precipitation, and melting glaciers is creating a perfect storm for the greening of Antarctica. Section 6. Impacts on the Antarctic ecosystem. The rapid expansion of plant life in Antarctica has significant implications for the continent's delicate ecosystem. The arrival of new plant species can alter the balance of the existing ecosystem, potentially displacing native species and disrupting food webs. For example, the growth of mosses can make it more difficult for lichens, which are adapted to survive in even harsher conditions to obtain the nutrients they need. Moreover, the increased vegetation cover can alter the albedo of the Antarctic surface, making it absorb more heat from the sun and further accelerating warming. This positive feedback loop could have cascading effects on the entire Antarctic ecosystem, potentially leading to more rapid melting of glaciers and ice sheets. The long-term consequences of these changes are still being studied, but it is clear that the greening of Antarctica is a cause for concern. Section 7. Global Consequences: Sea Level Rise. The greening of Antarctica is not just an isolated phenomenon with local consequences, it has global implications. As temperatures rise and glaciers melt at an accelerated rate, the excess water flows into the ocean, contributing to global sea level rise. Sea level rise is a major threat to coastal communities worldwide, as it can lead to increased flooding, erosion, and even the displacement of entire populations. The melting of the Antarctic ice sheet alone has the potential to raise global sea levels by several meters, which would have catastrophic consequences for many low-lying areas. While the greening of Antarctica is not the sole cause of sea level rise, it is a contributing factor that highlights the interconnectedness of Earth's systems and the far-reaching impacts of climate change. Section 8. A canary in the coal mine. The greening of Antarctica serves as a stark reminder of the global nature of climate change and the vulnerability of even the most remote ecosystems to its effects. Antarctica, long considered a pristine and isolated continent, is now showing clear signs of the impact of human activities. The rapid changes observed in this icy realm are a canary in the coal mine, warning us of the potential for even more dramatic and unpredictable changes to come. The fate of Antarctica is inextricably linked to our own. If we fail to address the root causes of climate change and reduce our impact on the planet, we risk triggering a cascade of irreversible changes that will have profound consequences for all life on Earth. The greening of Antarctica is a wake-up call, urging us to take action before it is too late. Section 9. The need for urgent action. The greening of Antarctica underscores the urgent need for collective action to address climate change. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions through a transition to clean energy sources, improving energy efficiency, and adopting sustainable practices are crucial steps in mitigating the impacts of climate change. International cooperation is essential in tackling this global challenge. The Paris Agreement, a landmark international treaty aimed at limiting global warming, provides a framework for countries to work together to reduce emissions and adapt to the impacts of climate change. However, stronger commitments and accelerated action are needed to meet the goals of the agreement and avert the worst consequences of climate change. Section 10. Conservation efforts and international cooperation. Protecting the fragile ecosystem of Antarctica requires concerted conservation efforts and international collaboration. The Antarctic Treaty System, signed by 55 countries, designates Antarctica as a natural reserve dedicated to peace and science. The treaty prohibits military activity, mineral exploitation, and nuclear testing on the continent. The treaty also promotes scientific research and international cooperation in studying and understanding the Antarctic environment. Continued research is crucial for monitoring the changes occurring in Antarctica, understanding their causes and consequences, and informing conservation efforts. International collaboration is essential for sharing knowledge, resources, and expertise to protect this unique and vulnerable ecosystem. Section 11. Our collective responsibility. The greening of Antarctica is a stark reminder of our interconnectedness with the natural world and our collective responsibility to protect it. The choices we make today will have lasting consequences for generations to come. It is our duty to act as responsible stewards of the planet and ensure a sustainable future for all. By reducing our environmental footprint, supporting conservation efforts, and advocating for policies that address climate change, we can make a difference in protecting the fragile ecosystem of Antarctica and preserving the health of our planet for future generations. The greening of Antarctica is a call to action, urging us to recognize our interconnectedness and embrace our role as caretakers of this extraordinary planet we call home.